Yo, Dignity Dogs, it's me, AJ Beast. Welcome back to another video. Welcome to another weekly episode of Wrestling with Beasts, where I talk about the weekly going-ons in the world of professional wrestling, mainly WWE, if you want me to do other stuff. I have been showing a little bit of an interest to AAA, so I'd love to kind of get more into that. And I am simultaneously trying to learn Spanish, so that could also be fun and helpful. But yeah, we're going to talk about, Raw, SmackDown, and anything that comes to my mind, I guess. That's pretty much what we're going to talk about. So if you are a new person to this channel, I highly recommend that you subscribe to this channel because I will be uploading every Wednesday and we'll making shorts either the night of Raw and SmackDown or the morning after because, you know, work schedule. Yay. I say that specifically because I think I'm going to end up posting some stuff on Saturday because, I work on Friday. So. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's start, and let's actually change this to blue because we're going to talk about SmackDown. I'm not going to talk about the pay-per-view here. Well, I'll make some vague, mentions of the pay-per-view. But let's talk about some stuff that happened on SmackDown. One thing I want to mention is Danhausen. If you didn't see my review of Backlash, you'll probably not know that well, if you saw my predictions video, I made the most random prediction that Joe Hendry would be the person who teams with Danhausen, but at the same time, that was right before SmackDown, so I didn't know that they were going to make a clone. And one thing I did not mention was that Minnie Hausen, who wrestled, was actually the guy who was El Toro in one of the greatest mini matches. I don't know how to word this, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to offend. But yes, the WLC match, one of my favorite matches when I was younger watching. I don't know. I really thought that match was fun and exciting and actually was a good match. I fully believe that to this day. But yeah, that guy, he played. I was wondering why is this guy so good? And there was only one person. Listen, I'm not saying a bunch of shorter people. I call them. I don't like saying them because they're us, just shorter. You know what I mean? I don't know. It is funny. I remember hearing Corey, or it was Wade Barrett, I think, calling him an it and stuff like that. It was just okay. Listen, bro, I get Wade's kind of the devil's advocate to Michael Cole, but damn, that's messed up. Anyways, let's talk about Royce Keys. Royce Keys, I love Royce Keys. I'm excited to see what they're doing with him. I like that. I'm not sure if they're actually friends. I would hope they're friends, because they bring it up a lot. Jacob Fatu and Royce Keys being very friendly backstage a lot of times. Even having some altercations with the Usos because of, being in good relations with Jacob Fatu. So I think one thing I mentioned in my predictions video was that maybe we could see Zilla come back. Another option, because here's the thing, I feel like the tension between Jay and Jacob Fatu is very big. But I also feel like with what happened on Raw, we'll get to it. I find it hard to believe now that they would ever do a tag team feud between the Usos and Jacob and someone else. But if we're going with someone who's in WWE, Royski's probably be the best thing. Probably because, you know, Zilla's probably doing. I think Zilla's the champion right now. I don't remember what the title's called, but he is a champion right now, so he's not really available. But yeah, honestly, bro, I don't really SmackDown. I'm trying to think about stuff. It's not many stuff that I really like care about. No offense, SmackDown. I'm sorry. It's just SmackDown's not that entertaining to a lot of people, and I give it the benefit of the doubt a lot of times. But it's what it is. It is what it is. So, what is it? Talatonga takes win against Damian Priest. You love to see it because. And here's the thing. I mentioned this before about the MFT members, and that they came so fast to the main roster and debuted pretty much what felt like a month between each other. So they weren't able to be fully fleshed out. I love what's going on with Tama Tonga and, his little bit leaning off the edge of being a part of MFTs. And I don't even know if MFTs is a thing anymore because it's just 3 members now. They got rid of 2 of their members. It's just Ultimately, I could totally see Solo and Talatonga being like the Daniel Bryan and Rowan of SmackDown, you know what I mean? Where they're a tag team. I don't... Man, I did mention, tag team wrestling kind of feels dead right now. I mean, look at our champions. Our champions are all makeshifts of tag teams that kind of just recently became tag teams. You got Truth and Damian, which I love them too, both. Don't get me wrong. They honestly were doing nothing, but that's the problem. They were doing absolutely nothing, but you could have done something. I've even pitched an idea where Truth could possibly go back to Ron Killings and Damian Priest and him could be a heel duo. Or even just a more serious tone duo. And not this goofy character. Because you already have freaking Danhausen to be the goofy character. I'm not saying Truth can't be a goofy character as well. It's just that do something with the Ron Killings thing. Because gosh, he was so entertaining when he was Ron Killings for a couple of months. I'm never going to let that go. They ruined something that could have been really fun. But, yeah. Royce Keys defeated Tama Tonga. That was a very interesting match, especially because Solo was like, no, he wants to do it himself. Let him do it himself. And he lost. So, ultimately, I love the story that's going on with Tama Tonga. I really hope that him and Shinsuke do something because it definitely feels like they've been hinting at it for a freaking year. It feels like definitely wasn't a year, but you know what I mean. And I didn't even realize this. I feel like there's a lot of great female factions. I put quotations on it because I'm gonna mention the Judgment Day because there's more female members of Judgment Day. So honestly, we got Fatal Influence. We got Judgment Day, and we got does Jade and BFAB and Mia Yim have a faction name? I don't know, but I honestly love that. I wish they would be included in the tag team division more, so we could get rid of Charlexa, because just having those 2 main eventers back in the main event scene, or even in the mid card scene. Here's the thing. You know what bugs me about SmackDown? Not SmackDown, but the women's tag team division as a whole. You don't need to have them just be in the tag team division. You don't have to focus on just one belt just because, we're in a tag team. No, that's not how that works. Charlotte could go for the women's world title, and Alexa Bliss could go for the women's US title. That's how it could work. You literally could do anything. There were times where freaking Montez Ford was in the Elimination Chamber match for, I believe, a world title. Or a shot for a world title, whichever it was. But tag teams don't need to be just tag team oriented. even if they are people who have been a tag team for years. Like I said, Street Profits, Montez Ford. So ultimately, I get so annoyed at the women's tag team division because we have so many main eventers that could be doing main event stuff and also being part of the tag team division. You don't have to make it this. And also, it's another one. This is a rant all about women's tag team wrestling. And I don't like the repetitive interference on almost every women's tag team match to show that the roster is full, and it almost feels like you're telling me that it's full in a way of like interference. Look at all of these people who want the women's tag team titles. Listen, you don't have to do that. Like, yes, listen, Fatal Influence's few tries and few times of interfering in matches were very fun. And honestly, like I said, if Michin and BFAB start worrying about the women's tag team titles, then maybe I'd give a little bit of a crap about this faction that they have with Jade Cargill. Because, like I said, the biggest problem with those two teaming up with Jade was, one, it was like literally a week before that, like, merger, they hated each other so much. They were in a feud, technically. It was basically BFAB Michin versus Jade. And then a week later, without any explanation, except some vague lines about it, they're immediately a tag team. Like, what? That doesn't make sense. But ultimately, the best thing for BFAB and Michin to do right now is to be a part of the women's tag team division and having Jade root them on. Because at the end of the day, the only reason why they don't feel important is because they haven't been put in a position to be important. They haven't won any matches in like forever. I think if you checked, I think it'd probably be like months ago. Not even months, maybe a year ago. Because BFAB and Michin specifically has been losing everything. Losing women's world title matches. Losing women's US title matches. I think she was part of one of the first women's champion. This is going to be a rant for just SmackDown. All right, to cut that short, yes, fix the women's tag team division and fix tag team wrestling as a whole because right now it's just grown stale. Anyways, Raw! I did that perfectly. All right, anyways, let's go straight into what happened on Raw. Like I said, I don't want to talk about Backlash just because I already have a video up. So if you want to hear me talk about Backlash, you can go over to there. Subscribe, by the way. This is a mention, just a reminder to subscribe because if you made it this far, I don't know why you haven't. Like, come on. You say no to this face? Probably. But, it's fine. Would love for you to join the family. Anyways, enough about that ramble. Dissension between the Street Profits and Seth. The age-old story of Seth can't be trusted. And honestly, I wish I could say that I like this feud and like this like storyline, but I've seen it like freaking 50 freaking times with Seth. Seth keeps being put in situations where he betrays people, and it drives me nuts because everyone doesn't trust him. Which is like, I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying, like, stop putting him in these situations because I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. Ultimately, Raw kind of felt repetitive. I'm not going to lie. There we go. Because honestly, like, we had Sol Ruka lose, which I'm completely fine with. You've had her face Io Sky, who probably is set up to face probably Liv at some point in the future. You had a kind of pointless open challenge with Obafemi, and he kind of just, grabbed two people and just was like, I'm gonna beat you up because Adam Pearce was like, no one wants to fight you. And Obafemi was like, no, I'm going to go get me someone to fight. So hopefully next week we will see Sheamus or somebody actually come out to compete. Now, from what I think, if I'm speculating, if no one on Raw wants to face him, I feel like a SmackDown participant might come out. Like, shoot, maybe even Tama Tonga. I'm throwing oddballs out there. Maybe even Tala Tonga. Shoot. Maybe even all three. Solo Sikoa, come in. We've squashed you enough with Jacob Fatu. Why not do it with frickin' Obafemi? But yeah, there's that. And then first ever AAA Mega Champion title defense between OG El Grande Americano and Dom Mysterio. Sorry, I don't know why that took so long for me to freaking say. But anyways, yeah, it was fine. It was fine. You know, it was a good match. Obviously, El Grande Americano interfered in this match. So, yeah, sad face. Dom retains. And honestly, like I said, I haven't watched AAA yet, but I do want to watch AAA. Who do you think's going to take the AAA title from Dom? Because it's almost been a year since he's won that title. And I don't know how long AAA title reigns last, but AAA fans, who do you guys think is going to take the title off him? I would love to see El Grande Americano hold that belt. Not OG, the other one. After he wins the mask versus mask match. That's another reason why I want to watch AAA is so I could, get the understanding of a lot of the feuds before that pay-per-view. That includes the mask versus match. The mask versus mask match. I can't speak. Asuka had a tearful goodbye, which I feel like that's probably hinting either she's leaving or she's taking a break, which I would be completely fine with. And honestly, we saw like her, old makeup with the line across her face. I would love if she does come back to come back with that mark and not the crazy face paint, because I don't know. It's just like vintage Asuka to WWE fans. Like obviously that face paint that she had was kind of more hinting at her time before the company. But, seeing the old Asuka in our eyes would be really cool. Javon Evans beat Rusev, which I have mixed emotions about, mainly because, like, Rusev should be winning, but at the same time, Javon Evans should be winning because Javon kind of has been losing a couple of matches recently. Like, I think he lost against Ethan Page. He lost in the tag team match between Ethan Page and Rusev versus him and Penta. So, yeah, getting a win here works. And also, it doesn't really ruin Rusev. Unfortunately, Rusev hasn't really been doing anything. But, and then to close the show, we had another freaking brawl and another freaking table shot. Why does every Raw have to end with someone going through the freaking announcer's table? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of brawls. I'm sick of announcer's tables. Do something creative, please. Because my goodness, I don't like it. You're giving me flashbacks of when the freaking Vision were like starting the show, introducing themselves, and like cutting a BS promo just to set up a main event that would end with them on top. It pisses me off. Like, to the extent of, I don't even know why I'm watching this. Because at the end of the day, it's starting to get stale. Not the storyline between Jacob and Roman, but just the common occurrence of just, this is how we're going to end Raw every week, and you're going to like it. But yeah. I am excited for what's going to happen between Jacob and Roman. Don't get it twisted. It's just Raw You're on thin ice right now. You are on thin ice. But with that being said, that is pretty much all I have to talk about today with wrestling. If I missed anything, let me know. I might make a short about it if it's something that you guys want to talk about. But with that being said, I love you guys so much. Leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you are new. If you made it this far in the video, I have no clue why you wouldn't, because I want to grow this family. And I would love for you to be a part of it, because I love you. All that being said, though, with that, yo diggity dogs, AJ Beast is out.